What if I told you that one mind shift could turn your biggest obstacles into launch pads? Not someday, not eventually, but like today, like right now. This isn't motivation, my friends. This is transformation. Hey guys, I'm Mark. Welcome to Hit the Mark today. Hey, you're not here by accident. You're here because, something inside of you is tired of living, say, at like 70%. You're ready to go all in. So join me today and let's do it. Let's talk about the mindset that makes you unstoppable. All right, you ready? Here's number one. The unstoppable mindset defined. See, being unstoppable, that doesn't mean that you're fearless. It just means that fear doesn't seem to, get to drive the car. It sort of sits in the back seat and sometimes maybe even the trunk. You see it, you hear it, but you really don't. I guess you could say you don't take directions from it. We know those backseat drivers. And an unstoppable mindset is when you stop negotiating with your excuses and you really just start building your identity like around results. It's not about being perfect. It's I guess you could say it's about being persistent. See, people with unstoppable mindsets, they don't wait for, the stars to align. They sort of grab a hammer and they start building their own constellation, I guess you could say. All right, let's keep going. Number two, why do most people stay stuck? What do you think? Leave me a comment. So let's be real for just a second. Most people stay stuck because they seem to confuse, I would think, comfort with safety. They confuse being busy with production or being productive. They confuse scrolling with solving problems. They wait for motivation to knock, like it's Uber Eats or something like that. They say things like, come on, Mark. How about this one? They say, when the timing is right. Have you heard that? Or maybe once I feel ready. How about this one? Yeah, after the weekend. I think we've all been there. But here's the truth. Readiness is a lie. It really is. If you wait to be ready, you'll be, think about it. You'll be waiting forever, a long time. You see, unstoppable people act before they feel ready. They act before they feel ready. All right, number three, what about the three core traits of the unstoppable mindset? This was interesting. I looked this up and I wanted to share it with you. Trait number one, ruthless clarity. How are those two words? They know exactly what they want, not kind of, not sort of, but sort of a laser focus. They don't chase 27 different types of goals. They chase one, like their life depends on it. Because it does. It really does. So ruthless clarity, guys, it kills distraction. It makes decisions easy. But you got to remember, it eliminates noise also. Hope you understand that one. Trait number two here, resilient grit. Another two great, powerful words. This is the ability to do hard things, especially when no one's watching. See, grit to me is consistency over time. In the face of boredom, maybe in the face of failure, and also you got to think about in the face of criticism as well. You see, friends, you don't rise to your goals, you fall to your systems. Grit builds those systems. I really believe it does. All right, here's trait number three. Another two powerful words. How about this? Relentless action. The people who win are the ones who keep moving. And you see, action is momentum. It builds momentum, and action builds confidence, and action builds your identity. While others, they sort of wait for a sign, you become, I guess you could say, the signal. All right, let's keep rolling with this. We'll move on to number 4. Laugh at the failures. Let's just think about this for a moment. You gotta laugh at yourself, right? Let's do that for just a second. You ever set a goal at 9 a.m., break it by 11 a.m., and then convince yourself you'll start again maybe Monday? Yeah, me too. I really have. How about this one? Have you ever, rehearsed maybe a conversation in your head for an hour, and then you completely forget how to talk, how to speak when it's your time to talk? Mr. Yacker here. I've been there a lot. Failure to me is funny when you stop fearing it, when you, I guess you could say, embrace failure as your coach instead of your critic. I really do believe you'll find yourself getting better much faster, guys. And every face plant is still forward motion. If you think about it, you fall forward or you fail forward. All right, and here's number 5. Science backs it up. Science is on your side. Don't forget that. Neuroscience, the brain, it proves that our brains are constantly rewiring themselves. It's called neuroplasticity. Try that word 5 times. And that means your thoughts are today, I guess you could say, are building your roads and your actions and where you're going tomorrow. You literally train your brain to be unstoppable. And you have to definitely choose discipline over the doubt that you deal with, and consistency over chaos. And you got to choose, back to this word, grit, love that word, over giving up. You see, mental toughness isn't magic. It's not, guys. It's just reps. It's just more laps. It's just do it again. Every time you push through life's discomfort. You follow through on a promise to yourself. Maybe you say no to the easy option, and maybe you're becoming like mentally bulletproof. How's that? All right, here's number 6. Rewire through your daily habits. So how do you install this mindset, Mark? Well, I think it's like anything, one brick at a time. And you think about it, here are the habits that I think you've got to improve. You got to win your morning. No snooze button, no scroll, no morning chaos. Small little wins, like 15-minute victories, and you sort of stack them up on top of each other, right? And then the daily challenge could be, do one thing that makes you squirm, makes you uncomfortable, probably a better word, on purpose. Do it. And then you got to journal your reality, not your feelings, but the facts. What worked, what didn't work. Protect your inputs. Unfollow drama. Feed your brain greatness. I think that's important. And I love to celebrate and help other people celebrate when there's progress. Not with pizza. Well, I guess you could say maybe pizza, but mostly with momentum. I think that's a real good one. And discipline is sort of, if you think about it, it's like the software that runs the unstoppable operating system. All right, guys, number 7, real life legends. Let's talk about, some people who maybe in the face of adversity, it didn't stop. How about J.K. Rowling? He got rejected over a dozen times. Now, she got rejected over a dozen times. Now she's literally an empire. What about, everybody knows this name, Michael Jordan? He got cut, I'm sure you've heard this, from his high school basketball team. Wouldn't you like to have been that coach? To become the greatest player of all time, many people say. You ever been to Kentucky Fried Chicken? Do you know that story? Well, Colonel Sanders, he pitched his chicken recipe, they say over 1,000 to 1,000 different people before one person said yes. And now his face is on buckets all over the place. These weren't just magical unicorns, my friend. They were relentless, I guess you could say, relentless humans, just like you. All right, number 8. What about the mindset traps to avoid? Let's call out the dream killers. I think there's a bunch of them. What about comparison? You ever do that? Their lane is not your lane. Eyes forward. Stay in your lane. I'm sure you've heard that. What about this one? Perfectionism. Done is better than perfect. Don't forget that. How about comfort addiction? You know, growth lives in discomfort. What about people pleasing? I'm one of those guys. You got to understand, approval is not a currency. Your life is not, it's not really like a group project. What about victim thinking? Poor old me. You're not stuck. You're just scared, and that's okay. But don't stay there. You know, are you still with me, my friends? All right, now number 9, identity shifts equal life shifts. So here's the real secret that I think you got to get from this video today. Mindset isn't a technique. It's not. It's an identity. Mindset isn't a technique. It's an identity. You don't try to be unstoppable. You decide that's who you are. And then you prove it to yourself. One action, one step, one movement at a time. And you got to stop asking yourself, well, can I do this? Start declaring, this is who I am. Number 10, can you do these things, guys, that I talked about today? Well, I think right now what you should do is activate it. Right now. This isn't one of those, okay, Mark, I want you to make me feel good videos. This is a freaking wake-up call for you. This is your wake-up call. I want you to, go rewatch this when you feel weak. That's a good one. Maybe share it with some people who maybe need it. And, I always say that I want you to sort of to feed it to other people. And comment unstoppable if you're done playing small. I love to hear that from the people who follow Hit the Mark today. And most of all, guys, you got to act today again. Like I said, not when it's easy, not when it's perfect, or when the sun's out, when it's not raining, not when you're ready. Right freaking now. Did you get that? Right freaking now. You got what it takes. You really do. You're not average, okay? You're not stuck. You're not too late. Now, this is the time. You're just one mindset. Just one away from being unstoppable. So guys, let's go hit the mark today. All right? Let's wrap this up. Again, guys, if this hit home a little bit, hit that like button. Subscribe. Please, if you enjoyed these videos. And like I said, guys, I love your comments. Please share your wisdom with me. And I know if not just me, but there's someone that's watching that needs this. Someone, we rise together. One shift, one habit, one win at a time. My friends, you're not here today to survive. You're here to dominate. Don't forget that. So let's go.